how I document things in my life that happen. I go by telling stories to people that I don't know, or some people that I do know. Actually, I met a couple of you guys. People have been like, "Hey, I've seen your videos on YouTube," and that's always cool. And so, for the most part, though, I'm going to tell you a nice little story about pain and woe without sculpting right now. I'm just gonna actually focus on it. I just gonna talk for a little bit, maybe like 20 minutes or so, about what happened. So today, I was if any of you know, I like to try and repair my own car because what happened before when I started, I had this thing where I wanted to just definitely, I wanted to just go to the mechanic and have the mechanic fix my car for me. But I learned over time that you need to know what's wrong with your car before you hand it over to the mechanic, because if you can't fix it yourself and you need the lift or whatever to fix the car, what you need to definitely do is that you need to have understanding as to what needs to be done. So anyway, so what happens is this, right? I learned, but I just want to say it again because I was kind of thinking of stuff. That you need to know what's wrong with your car before you go and take your car to the mechanic shop, because if you take it to the mechanic shop, they're going to take you for a nice little ride. And so if they take you for a nice ride, then you're going to be, taken advantage of. And so you don't want that to happen. So the best thing you can do actually is know what is wrong. And if you attempt to fix it, that works out great. So I've gotten three different codes, right? Three different codes. One code I got was in the very beginning, before we had the car, we just got this new car, a Dodge Caravan 2010. And the new car, what we had gotten from it was that it was a 420 code, which is, if you look up the P04 420 code, it's not to go smoke it, but pretty much it might be a smoke it kind of code. But the code is that it's a catalytic converter. That your catalytic converter needs to be looked into, whatever that might be, whatever situation is. A catalytic converter, which is the thing that, you know what it is. Go look it up. So for the most part, your catalytic converter needs to be taking a look at that. So I was like, oh my goodness, how am I going to fix this? Because one of the oxygen sensors, either from the high one or the low one, needs to be either repaired. And what it does is it sees if there's any destructive stuff going into the atmosphere. So you're trying not to lower your emissions and let less poisonous stuff into the air, right? So your car will work fine because it's stuff leaving your car, but you'll fail an emissions test if you try to pass an emissions test. So what happens with our car? It pretty much, we were able to pass emissions tests, and then it was like that code went out. We didn't do anything to it to make it go out, but the code went out on its own. And then after that, we were able to get it back, get the car fixed. So now the second code we've gotten lately was 3 weeks ago. When I started making the gremlin, the black and the Firebelly gremlin, one that you've seen before. I have him on the shelf over there. I'll go get him. I'll get him from real quick. The Firebelly. So when I started making the Firebelly gremlin, what happened was that this is when we had the second code. Our code that was code 302, and the code 302 means that you're having a misfire. No, yeah, having a misfire in your cylinder. So one of your cylinders are misfiring. So that's what happened to code 302. P0302 is a misfire in your cylinder. So we took it to the shop. They did like 3 repairs on it. They took the alternator. They changed the alternator. They changed the water pump. They changed the tensioner. The tensioner was also messed up. And then they changed the engine mount. So they did several things in my car. So that was with this gremlin here. Well, it's not really him, but we got to blame somebody, right? So this gremlin is a Firebelly, right? So Firebelly is like, oh. So after that, right, we drove the car off the lot. The car had another problem. It gave us the code 3. Well, actually, we still continue to have code 302. 302 is a misfire in the second cylinder. See, the car is like this, right? I have a V6 car, right? So a V6 engine. And how it works is that, from your point of view, it goes 2, then it goes 1. So the 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? Is the engine side. So on this side is 2, 4, 6, right? So misfire, code number 302 is a misfire in this one, in this piston here, which means that something might have happened either in the fuel injectors or in the this is the spark plug. The spark plug is the top of the engine. What happens when you put it there? It creates a spark, and the spark creates the compression. Compression puts makes the piston drop back down, and when it goes up, the air to fuel ratio, it gets mixed and happen. Anyway, so long story short, it's perfectly mixed. And what ended up happening is that it has a misfire, which means either it was too early, or too soon, and the misfire caused that engine to say, "Hey, there's something wrong." So it throws out an error code to you. emergency counter, the system, ECM system, it lets you know that there's something wrong with the car. So what ends up happening is this, right? So the car, it has a certain, like, you're starting to drive it, like it's like the engines are working really hard to actually make it all happen, make it all work. So what ends up happening is this: you have to, I did the spark plug. I did all the spark plug changes, right? So when I did the spark plug changing, I changed all 6 spark plugs, because what happened was this car, apparently this car that had this Dodge Caravan 2010, it had never had its spark plugs changed before, so it had original wires, original OEM wires. And then also it was like, all the spark plugs. I'll have to show you a picture of that, and then when I get to the car at some point, I'll show you. I have all the spark plugs so you can look at it. And so what happens is that there's like an aspect where, an aspect of damage. There's damage to the spark plugs, damage to the wires, and so even the part where when I pull the cable apart, the thing is like, you have a part with the metal part that's inside the coil. There's a coil, right, that connects to the spark plug, that sits on the spark plug, right? This part, the metal part that was inside here, came off, and so it totally disconnected the wire, right? So that's one. The next thing too is like, and so when I changed all the spark plugs, I had to go back in and just kind of do all the wiring. So long story short, what I'm saying is this: I reconnected everything, and it was still giving us trouble. So when you start up the car, it still goes like the whole power, where it's like you hear it like either there's the muffler or it's something like this making a sound. So what's going on is like it's a little bit of a struggle still. So what I did today was this, right? I went to go get my car fixed. Well, not fixed, but I went to go check on some stuff myself. And what ended up happening was this, right? I had this thing where I said to myself, let me just go ahead and try this. I saw this video last night. I was watching the video, and what this guy did was that he was showing that if you take out the air connector, or the air intake, or the air return to the air to your filtered air system, what happens is that your car could stall out, right? So I said, let me just give it a try. So I pulled out the air thing, nothing happened. So then he was unplugging it also a spark plug. So he went to go take a spark plug, and he would just yank a spark plug out, and that's but the spark plug cable, the cable that was on top of the spark plug, he would take it out, right? And so he did one of these, and then each one. So it's one on one. Each one is kind of the wires are connected on top of the one. So it's 2, 4, and 6, right? So what happens is when he pulled the wire off, the car would start to, you'd hear more of the engine struggle. So when I took it off, I heard nothing. I put it back on, no problem. I went for number four cylinder. And when I went to pull 4 cylinder, I was like, I got shocked. I got like a 12-volt shock into my system, right? And that was actually pretty interesting, because what happens, 12 volts is not enough to kill you, but it's enough to make you feel it. So I was just like, ow. I felt it from my nose to my elbow to my toes. I felt it in my lip. I felt it in my earlobe. I felt that all over, because what happened, I got like shocked by when I pulled the spark plug thing off. It just got really shocked. So that wasn't fun. So anyway, so I'm feeling it right now. And so I feel it all my joints and stuff like that. My back right here, just kind of ow. Yeah, so for the most part, what I'm saying is that, yeah, you be careful out there when you mess with your car stuff, because I was watching a video and a guy was doing that. And they teach electrical theory. They tell you don't ever put 2 hands on something, because you'll get shocked and it'll go into your heart, because you become like this hand and this hand together will make you complete the circuit, right? So whenever you touch anything electrical, you touch it one-handed, right? And the sad part about it is that if you grab something and electricity, you can't see electricity. You could just feel it after you got shocked by it. So and it was just interesting. So that made me think. So long story short, after I got shocked, I ran into the car. I turned off the engine, and I said, never leave the car on again, and try that to, don't do that. Okay, just don't do that. That's not a good thing to do. No, don't do that. Don't do that, because you feel it. You feel it with a shock, right? So that's the thing there. So I just wanted to say that. The next part I wanted to say is that I went back in, I tightened everything out. I took my my gear system, my wrench set, and I have my wrench set as well as my socket wrench. So my socket wrench set, right? And this one here is my socket, my ratchet. So I took it and I went through and I got all of these connected, because in a Dodge Caravan 2010, you have a scenario where it's a lot easier than a Dodge Caravan 2000. Because when I had to do this, I never showed you guys the video of the spark plug when I had to do the first time, but I didn't get a chance to make a video the second time. But I made some videos. I'll upload it for you guys to see. It's on my other camera. But long story short, this is this is like a 5/8 adapter that sits on the spark plug. And what happens? This is like magnetic. So when you put the spark plug in there, it just kind of holds it in place, and you just tighten it. Right? So just so you tighten it. But you don't do it too much, because if you tighten too much, you can break the thing, and then you have another problem there. But you have to do it to about 13 pounds of torque. 13 to 15 pounds of torque, right? But anyway, so long story short, this is the one I was using to fix my car, and so this is what I had. But long story short, went in and tightened them all, and I checked to see if maybe there's any air leakage because I thought maybe that may be a problem too. I tightened up all the air filter, the air intake, all the coils going to that, all the wires and all the nozzles and the hoses that go to it. I think I have a pressure leak in the vehicle, and I think what I need to do, I need to either take it to the shop and have them look at it, because I tried my best to figure out what's wrong with it as best as possible. But you can figure out stuff too for yourself as well. And so the thing is, long story short, that's what I wanted to share with you regarding that. So last night I was able to do a quick video, and the video was about 40 minutes long, and I had it where my because we're celebrating my anniversary, because my wife and I, we celebrate our engagement anniversary, because we got engaged 24 years ago on the 13th, on the 19th of March. So it was really cool for us to do that. We were celebrating that because that was a really cool time. And those of you who heard my video last night talked about how that was really awesome just to spend time. And so after that, immediately after I left the video, I went to go spend time with my wife and kids, because we were all out. We were all walking through the park. We went walking to the park, having a good day yesterday, and one of our friends, one of our family friends of the family, was with us, right? And we got a chance just to spend time together, and it was really good. So my thought was, like, I was just saying that it was great because, well, I'm doing a video here, I'm doing a video yesterday and it was like in honor of my wife, and here am I spending time away from my wife talking about video. So I thought, okay, then I'm definitely gonna go ahead and just go spend time with her. So we went ahead and we started watching we've been watching this movie called The Walking Dead, right? And so we got through season 1 and season 2. We got the 8 what was it? It's 11 seasons, right? 11 seasons of The Walking Dead. And so I started watching that because it was like recently something happened to me, so I wanted to just kind of like, what's the van doing? You might need to replace the wires if you got shocked. Which one? The wire 2? Was wire 4? I shocked on when I took wire 4, but I took it. That's a good point. That's a very good point, actually. Maybe there's a short in the wire 4, because they say the P0300 code is a code where you get like multiple cylinders, right? Multiple cylinder misfire. That's what the P0300 code is. So it was like, thank you for that, by the way, Master Chief. It was like, that's one of the things I kind of get back on topic. Yeah, that was the thing there. For the most part, though, may have bad wires. I just bought those out of the box. I just bought those. I replaced those last week. I think it was like the Sunday actually where I replaced them when I did the whole thing all over. Because it was like one of the things where I went through and got all the spark plugs, and so maybe that could be a case, maybe I'll have to check it, but it's like I'm not sure exactly how to check it. They sell defective wires and bad wires. Maybe that's a good point. Maybe, okay, so the one I got, let's see what I got. I have a picture. Let me see if I can find it real quick. I have a picture. It's on my Instagram. Let me see which one the wires I got. I think it was like the TK wires and stuff like that. Let me see what it is. They sell defective wires, yes. Okay, this one here. All right, let me see if I can see it real quick. This one here, I couldn't load image. Okay, come on, load this image. All right, I have to go back. Oh, wait, maybe it might be. Okay, because I'm trying to see if I can see it real quick. It goes like this, and it won't load the image, of course. I can't see it from there, but all right, I'm gonna see if I can just make it bigger, just like this. Okay, so it's a Duralast ignition. I got the Duralast gold ignition one. So this is like the one. Let's see, I can show you. See this one there? This is the one I got, right? Duralast gold. There it is, right there. This one. It's like, yeah. It doesn't have. I don't have the Wi-Fi signal on. Is the Wi-Fi signal on? Let me check real quick. I might have it on. I think I have it on. Oh, my hotspot's off. Okay, I'm gonna get my hotspot back on real quick, and I'll show you real quick. This is what I have. Right, they sell defective wires. Well, that's a bummer, because that's under the protection. So there's a different thing. Whenever you buy something Duralast, you can actually return them, and they give you an exchange free of charge. So that's something there. So if this is like a messed up one, then what they can actually do, they can actually repair it for me. All right, replace it for me. They sell me defective wires, because I mean, how else would I know, right? Unless you get shocked by the thing. Well, I hope not to get shocked by it to find it. Like, it's kind of a crazy thing to have happen. Come on, baby. Yeah, okay, so here goes the Duralast, right? This is the... See, I'm always blaming the gremlins and stuff, but it's like usually just life happening. Okay, so, come on. Okay, so the point I'm trying to say is that Duralast wires, right? The wires are called Duralast, and if it's Duralast, the Duralast stuff, they have you can always like replace them. Here goes Duralast Gold ignition wires. See this one here, this one here, and that's a Duralast Gold ignition wires, ignitions. So I knew it looked untouched, it looked undamaged. So it's interesting they might do that, because like I was just like kind of you see when I first did the first time of it, right? This is what happened. The part came off. This wasn't my part, but this is the part with the old one where I did the repair. It's like the wire. See it. So it had a P0302 code. It says, if you don't know how to test the wires, wait till it's dark and open the hood and start it up to follow the wires with no light and see and listen for a small popping noise sparks. Ooh. Okay. All right. I could do that. All right, I could do that. So what happens, like, okay, so what if you see, like, well, I guess you'll see multiple. You have to be on the other side, though. When it was shocking me, right? All right, it depends, right, where it was, because I'm trying to remember where it was. The wires will grow out. The wires will grow out on the motor. The ground will ground out on the motor. I'm trying to think where I actually unplugged it. Okay, now I think I'm saying I think I unplugged it from here, right, from the bottom part. But I think what happened was I pulled it from the distributor part, the top distributor part, not from the bottom part. Like not the part where it connects to the bottom, not the part where it connects. Not the part where it connects to the bottom, right, where this connects to the spark plug, but the part that connects to the distributor itself. So when I took the part off, because I remember it was making that sound like zzz, so maybe I must have got it from the top one, and that was a spark number 4. Spark 4 was making small sparks. Yeah, they were making small sparks when it pulled 4 off, and it would touch the thing. It would zzz, and I got the jolt through the system, and it was just like, it was I definitely felt that. It wasn't like enough to like seize my body up or anything like that, but it was enough for me to really kind of be like, what, it's kind of painful. Yeah, I didn't take any pictures with this phone. That phone here that I'm recording on is the one that I had the situation with. So it's like, for the most part, though, that's that there. My okay, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take a look at that. I won't do that now because it's like I got good parking, and so when I got good parking, I'm gonna kind of stay with that for until we have to move it again. But if that's the case and it's just a situation of wires, I could take out I'll have to like drive the car to AutoZone and hand the wires back, because the place that had it, right, the place that had it had to go further away from my house. It was like there was one AutoZone like down the block from where I live, and I walked over there. Well, actually, I rode my bike over there, and then the other one I had to drive my car over there. So I had to take the same broken car and drive that sucker all the way down to then to get it. And so I did all the change. And what was the code? The code was the P0300, P0300, which is a random misfire. So a random cylinder misfire. That means, it could be any of them. So what I went and did was with my my wrench set, I was saying before, I took my socket wrench and this here, and I went through and I just retightened everybody. Just kind of went through and just tightened everybody up to see how it was going and make sure that it's all good. And so for the most part, though, that's what happened. I did that, and some were more looser than others, so I tightened that up. Hopefully, maybe those had to wait for the air mixture to kind of fix itself. The first code that still continues to show, even though I have the OBD code reader, it said ODB code reader. It says that why did I change the plugs? Oh, the plugs were broke. The plugs. Why did you change the plugs? What, the spark plugs? I changed them because it was like the car was running rough. The car had a rough running. It was running. And also it gave me the code P0302, which is the code for misfire in cylinder number 2. So I then looked for that one, and then it gave me the random code after I repaired everything. So we went for a drive. We did several drives. So why did I change the plugs? So I changed the plugs because I don't think the plugs have been changed since the car has been purchased, or since the car. And the car is like well over 100,000 miles. So it's like, the car that we had before, our other car that we had, the 2000 Dodge Caravan, I just changed the plugs on it like last year, a year before, and it was running smoothly. It actually started running really good. So because it was running like very rough, and so we thought maybe it was something to do with that. So anyway, so this one, it was running rough. It wasn't running rough before, and then we had that leak thing happening. And so the leak thing that had started happening was when the coolant system was leaking out some of the coolant. And so I thought it was maybe leaking fuel, but it didn't smell like fuel, it smelled like coolant. So that was one. So then after we got that fixed, that was repaired last Thursday, or 2 Thursdays ago. right? 2 weeks ago we repaired that one. Then we had the car in the shop all week last week. And then this week when I got the car back, I decided to it's still running rough, and we're thinking maybe it's so I learned about the whole thing with the air intake and how if there's too much air going into the system, the car will not be able to mix the rich. It has too much air. It's called rich air, and it'll cause the car to actually stall out. And so we were having a car stall out issue when we first tried to start the car. That was a Thursday of the March 6th, is when we had the first situation where the car didn't want to start. So what I did was I put the car in neutral. I had to back it down the hill and put it onto level ground, thinking maybe level ground might have been it, because sometimes when you park a car on a hill, all kind of things happen. Well, I mean, in my situation, but all kind of things happen when you have a car on a hill. So what I did was that I backed the car down the hill just using gravity or density, depends on using the mass of the car to roll backwards. And then when it rolled down the hill, I took it and I just kind of round the corner and I put it there. And after that, I straightened it up so it'd be nice and perfectly thing. So when the street sweepers who come to my area, they sweep they sweep the streets. What happens is that they actually they have to move around me because I couldn't at that point. So got the car to function and it was bubbling. It was like it was a really kind of hard time catching. So that maybe it was a fuel situation, maybe it was so I thought, okay, well, we're gonna take this to the shop, and then we saw that it was leaking the coolant. So a lot of coolant was leaking out of the water pump. It was leaking out there, a lot of things. So that's when that was that was the March 3rd. And then after that, we took the car again to have it repaired again. And that was on the Tuesday, I think. Anyway, so that was like last week. So when we got it fixed again, it took many days to get it fixed. And so finally got it fixed. It was like Friday of last week we got it fixed, or the week before. And then so, let's see, we got the 6th, the 5th, the 7th, the 14th. So the 14th around there, we got the car fixed again. And then after that, we were like trying to figure out what the best thing to do. So after we did that, we were like, we started driving the car and noticed it. We took the car, went to Walmart, and Walmart's like 15 miles away. So we did a 30-mile trip on this car. And it was the most horrendous kind of drive because, it's something when you got range anxiety. They say they get those on electric cars, get that kind of thing because people drive those because they realize that there's not everywhere has a charging station for those cars, right? So our car is not our cars is regular combustion with gas and everything like that. So what happens is when we are driving our car, we are trying to we can drive it anywhere. So, but the same range anxiety, you're not sure what's going to happen. I mean, we were last year, we were in an accident. Remember that whole car accident thing, right? And so with that, it was one of those things where I was just like, I keep thinking about that all the time. So I have to kind of, this car is not giving me that solace of, I'm driving a car that I feel comfortable in. It's actually a car where I'm just kind of like, okay, this is like, I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop kind of thing, And so far we've done so many repairs on this car, and it's costly repairs, to fix this car because, got it from Facebook Marketplace. And again, don't get a car from Facebook Marketplace unless you are a little crazy or you have nerves of steel, and especially after you've been through a car accident, And so that's kind of the scenario there. So for the most part, though, what I'm just saying is that you have this thing where if you're going to do this, right, you're going to have to know how to fix the car as much as you can. So when I felt the car was running rough, I thought maybe it was a spark plug issue. Maybe it's another thing where the car itself needs to be repaired or something. So I'm gonna take it to the shop, but I'm going to do what you're saying, Master Chief. Master Chief, you said that pretty much take a look-see and see if it's, what do you call it, if it's the sparks, if it's flinging sparks, So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna actually do that. Turn off the lights and find a dark spot and see if I can actually get to see where the car is. If it's throwing sparks, Again, if it's throwing sparks, then we know. Wait. I'm gonna look more into that. But you can tell me more about that. If it's throwing sparks, right? That could be working, or that it's actually messed up. So you gotta tell me more about that because I don't. So I keep learning as I'm going, and that's kind of the thing there. So. Anyway, I'm with this aftershock thing. Seriously, aftershock. I shocked my car a little while ago. But so the thing was like that was me unplugging it. It wasn't like I touched the wire and got shocked. It was like I unplugged the wire and I got shocked. So it was like maybe it threw a spark and it caught me in between. That could happen. As opposed to like because I'm saying I unplugged it. I unplugged it from the bottom of the thing. But if I didn't unplug it, but I unplugged it from the top where it goes into the distributor cap, that might be a situation there. So anyway, that's what I wanted to share with you guys today. But for the most part though, yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. This is a Fire Belly. I'm gonna make another one. I might do a body paint like this. What is Fire Belly body paint? Cool looking something. But I'll let you guys know about that. But anyway, so the most part, I just wanted to share that with you. Didn't want to spend a whole lot of time on that kind of telling you stuff, but that's something there. Yeah. So that's what I want to share with you guys a little bit about that. Walking Dead. Yeah, I'll tell you about the Walking Dead story. Um, you guys have probably already seen it. If you've already seen the Walking Dead, this is new for me. I had something happen to me, and pretty much like a zombie attack. And long story short, what happened was that I started watching that show. My wife and I started watching that show, The Walking Dead, and it's been like interesting because I really like the characters. We went through season 1 and season 2. We have 9 more seasons to go. And every time we go to sleep, I keep thinking about like the situation. What would it be like to actually be in a situation like that, where dealing with situations where you got worldwide apocalypse happening. It kind of makes sense because people do a lot of crazy things during worldwide apocalypses, right? We've all been there. So if anything, we watched. Without belaboring the point, I can't spoil it too because my kids haven't seen it yet, so we're gonna probably watch that with the kids at some point. But for the most part, though, I really like it. I really like it. It's actually a little different because you know it's like every time he gets a win, he gets a loss to go with it. And seriously, it's not about the people who are dead, not about the zombies, about the living. And I guess the whole Walking Dead thing is kind of a very interesting take on the aspect of it's the people who are alive who are the Walking Dead, not the zombies. And so, without belaboring the point, without going too far, that has been very good. I really, really like it. I'm gonna let you guys know more about it. I might actually make a whole video about it, but for the most part, though, that's one of the things I want to share with you. Just again, be careful when you're working with your cars. Just a reminder, be careful out there. Just turn off your car before you work on it. But if you want to see where things are going, you're gonna have to have it on. So better insulation, I guess, or something like that, because I didn't use two hands. I didn't use two hands. Could have been like kind of thing. That would have just been wrong. I wouldn't be making this video right now. But I used the one hand, and I felt the shock. And I'm trying to remember, because I remember when I had it unplugged, it was unplugged at the top by the code for number 4. So there was like a little spark, and you hit because it's intermittent. It can't be like a constant. It's more like because it's going to cycle through the distributor stuff. But no, but number two was the one. Cylinder number 2 had no reaction, no anything. So when I unplugged it, nothing happened. So because I unplugged it from the top, that's what I did. I didn't want to risk unplugging from the bottom. Okay, that's what happened. Okay, I remember now. I unplugged it from the top. I was unplugging the first one, which is number 2. The second one, number 4. The third one is number 6, right? And so this is 2, 4, 6 on this side. When I unplugged 2 at the top, nothing happened. No spark, nothing, right? Maybe I was in between. Maybe I wasn't far enough, but I plugged it back in, no problem. Number 4, when I unplugged it, that's when I got shocked. So from the distributor, right from the distributor, the top of the thing, the little metal thing that's giving out, I unplugged it from there. And when I unplugged it from there, I got shocked at 4, which means that maybe 4 is working and 2 is not working. I didn't even try number 6 because at that point I was like, let me shut this car up before I fry my brain, kind of a thing. So I thought, let me not do that. So anyway, long story short, I want to say thank you so much for watching this with me. I really appreciate you. Please give me a thumbs up, and please follow me for more. I have more stuff coming up soon. But for the most part, I want to say thank you. God bless you for watching my show. If everybody says hi, he says hello. And pretty much just want to say thank you so much for just watching. So God bless you. Talk to you soon. And remember, turn off your car when you work on your car. Don't have it on when you're just, don't have it on unless you want to find something. And I found something. I found what a shock feels like. 12 volts. Don't let it happen to you. Good night, Gracie. Good night, Gracie. All right.